Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and let's continue with the VBA to SQL automation mini-series. In today's video, we're going to look at how to import long numeric identifiers from SQL into Excel. And although I'm demonstrating this with SQL Server, I assume that the same issue may likely appear to any other data source. And by long numbers, I mean any number longer than 15 digits, because Excel cannot store more than 15 digits of numeric precision. And let me quickly show you what I mean by that. So let's first change the format of cell B1 to number, and then in cell C1, I'm gonna write the len function pointing to cell B1, and currently it's empty, so I assume this should return 0. And now in cell B1, I'm gonna start writing some numbers. Okay, so we have 14 digit. Let's add another one. And so far so good. And let's add another one. So this will be the 16 digit. And let's say I'm gonna add 9. And you see, although I added 9, Excel changed it to 0. And if I try to add a few more digits, and now we have 20 digits. And as you can see, any digit after the 15th one, Excel stores as 0. And this is not a bug, it's a known limitation of Excel's numeric storage. But in case you are not aware of it, then it may lead to huge mess and serious data quality issues. In real world datasets, sometimes user IDs, transaction IDs, login IDs, tracking numbers, or similar identifiers are often longer than 15 digits, all numbers. So let's see what's going to happen if we try to import values into Excel directly from SQL. So to try to reproduce this problem, in the AdventureWorks database, I have created a view which is called user transactions. So if I write select from cells.v user transactions, and we can see here that we have 19,000 rows with fake user IDs and fake sign up dates. So let's go back to Excel now. And I'm gonna launch the Visual Basic Editor. And we're gonna run this query. And we're gonna pass this SQL. Now, if you haven't watched the previous videos from, this mini series, then this subroutine allows us to run SQL queries directly from Excel, and the SQL queries could be stored as variables, and this variable indicates the worksheet of the name that we want the result to appear. So I believe the results worksheet is currently empty, and let me zoom in a little bit. And back to the Visual Basic Editor, I will create a subroutine, and it's gonna be a short subroutine. So let's call it get user IDs, and I will need one variable for the SQL, which will be string. And I'm not sure if I copied the select statement, so let's write here SQL equals this, since it's a one-line query. And then let's run the run SQL query subroutine, and the worksheet name will be result, and the SQL will be SQL. So I'm gonna click run now, and let's see what's going to happen. And it seems that when you run SQL from VBA, this problem doesn't seem to appear. And I tried to make my own research while I was preparing to record this video, and actually, I'm not sure why the behavior is like this, because I was expecting that Excel will break the numbers and then I will have to fix them somehow. But for whatever reason, when we run SQL from VBA, it seems that the numbers appear correctly. This will not happen if we manually copy the numbers, and let me show you that if we go back to SSMS, now we can click here to select all, and there are different options. We can select the result of the query. We can save the result of the query as CSV, or we can simply click here, copy with headers, and go back to Excel now. And now if I paste them manually, you'll see that Excel immediately breaks the numbers. So as mentioned, I'm not sure why the behavior is like this when we run the SQL from VBA. Everything's fine, but things are not like that when we copy paste manually. So if you're familiar with this, then feel free to let me know in the comments. But I'm gonna show you a quick workaround in case you urgently need to copy such long identifiers from SQL and paste them into Excel. I mean, obviously, another solution would be to use Power Query because it allows to change the data type. But I'm gonna show you a quick workaround. So let's go back to SSMS. And the idea will be to trick Excel into believing that this is not a number, but a text. And of course, another way that we could do this is to change the format of the column before copy pasting. But sometimes you may need to do this with a table that consists of, let's say, 50 columns, and then that may not be a very smart thing to do, to change the format. So to trick Excel into believing that this is text, then an easy solution is simply to create a new column and add, let's say, some letter to these numbers. And for this, I'm gonna use the concat function, and I'm gonna append the letter A to the beginning of the user IDs. So, and I'm gonna give an alias to this column as fake user IDs. And if I now run this query, we have the concatenated user IDs with the letter A in the beginning. So now I'm gonna copy with headers and going back to Excel. Let's paste those on new sheet. And now Excel once again broke the original user IDs. Here we have the letter A in front, but at least the numbers are preserved correctly. So now all we need to do is get rid of this letter A. And one way to do this is with find and replace tool, or we can simply use a combination of right and len functions. So we can get the right part of cell C2 and get that many characters. From the entire length of cell C2, we can subtract 1 because letter A is with it's only one letter, of course. And now if I click enter, Excel will show the correct number simply because the right function always returns text. So now I can make a double click here and then simply paste those values. So that's a workaround in case you urgently need to copy data, long numeric identifiers from SQL into Excel. So thanks for watching. If you have other solutions to this problem, then I'll be interested to know about them. So please drop those in the comments. And if you have any questions, then As always, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.